me check the sound here. I think we're good. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to our All Access group and our YouTube community as well. I hope you guys are having a great start to your day. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 5 patterns, really improv tips that you need to know. These are so good, and they'll help you with all of your improv. And we're just going to do 5 of them as they relate to the C blues scale. So I think by the end of this 30-minute lesson, you guys are going to have all the tools you need to get to practicing. As we always do at iMusicAcademy, make sure you come in the chat and say hello. I just sent out the email to our All Access group, so it'll take a second for you guys to get in. I'm in the middle of a conference, so I've been up early and staying up late, and so I have a lot going on, but of course, we're going to get our stream in. All right, so the very first thing, and what I'll do is, hey, Rick, first on this morning. Good to see you. All right, let's go ahead and go over these 5 things, and then we'll dig in. So the first one we're going to talk about is the bebop scale. Everybody loves the bebop scale. And the bebop scale has the major 7 and the flat 7, which we'll talk about. The second one is the 2-note enclosure. We're going to go of how you can use what we call a note above and below. And then you do the same thing. There's a technique that we do there. And then we're going to talk about the thirds, of how you can use thirds in your playing, really important. And then the next one is the David Baker lick. We're talking about how you can use different fingerings to get that. And then the last one is the pivot. All right, Rick, you doing okay? You ready to dig into some jazz blues today? All right, everyone, the first thing we're going to do is let's talk about our bebop scale, our bebop dominant scale. Now, there's a bebop major scale as well, and the bebop major scale has the sharp 5 in there, or the flat 6, to help you keep chord tones on downbeats as you're going down especially. So da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's for major. Sorry, that's for major. So C major. I'm still asleep. All right. All right, the next one. So bebop dominant scale. All we do is take our C7 scale, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 7, or 6, flat 7, 1, right? That's our C7. That's our dominant scale. Everybody knows that. We have our major scale, and all you have to do to make it dominant is flat the 7. Now, that's a really important thing to do as well. And from the standpoint of just the scale, a great exercise for everyone is to take your dominant scale, your bebop dominant, and go up to the flat 7 and come back down like this. And then maybe go around the cycle. So, Rick, you see how I'm going up to the flat 7 and back down, right? It's a great thing to do. Hey, Vance, good to see you. The poet who let you know it. We've got Queen Vic, Gandalf, and Vance on with us this morning. The poet. Here we go. So going up to that 7th note is a great pattern for your scales. It keeps everything lined up. If you go up and you do your dominant, you still can do that, and that's fine. You can also go up to the 9th. Is a great way to practice, but I love to teach going up to the 7th. Listen how easy this is. And that's the dominant scale, back to C. And then when you get to G, it's all white notes going up to the 7th. Okay, now when we introduce, everybody got it in the chat. And this works for all of your chords and scales. If I'm on a Dorian, G7, or what a great way to practice your 7-note scales. And if you understand that, got it in the chat. We're about to go through number 1 of this thing. It's the bebop scale. So a Mixolydian scale, or a dominant scale, is the flat 7 from the major scale. So was the bebop scale both the flat 7 and natural 7? Yes, Gandalf, you've got it. You're putting the major scale, and you put the flat 7 as well. So we have this scale for the very first example. Right? Now, I would practice this as much as you can on all chords. At least you could do the 1, 4, 5 of C and over G. Now, there are a lot of different fingerings people use for these, just so we're on the same page. I could go on for G7 or G bebop dominant. I could go 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, something like that. Or I could go 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. All kinds of different fingerings. And I actually like to practice a lot of different fingers because you never know where you're going to be in a tune. But you can also do this. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. A lot of people like that fingering. It's more secure. And I would like to know if you guys like that as well. But for F, you can't really do that for F, though. For F, I would go 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you have a lot of options, but you see where you have to use 4, 3, 2 because of the E flat. And what I would do, everyone, is I want you to visualize a couple of things as you're learning these scales. Remember that it's the first 5 notes of the F major scale, and then you're going up, and now you have the chromatic approach, but then you get back into the mindset of it's a major scale, right? So watch this again on C. Okay, now, the reason this is so important, and this is such an important scale, is because notice that it does help keep the harmony on downbeats, right? If I do this, Rick, and I'm coming down, that's on the downbeat. That's the flat 7 on the downbeat, 1 and 2 and 3. There's my G on the downbeat. Now, if we all are understanding how important this is, put that you got it in the chat. Just put got it in the chat, because now we're about to do something that's going to blow your mind, even related to this first example. Rick, if I'm on a C chord and I need that Mixolydian scale, the next thing I need to know is I could start this on the E, the 3rd of the C chord, but I'm still going to put that half step in of the Mixolydian scale. So I could do this. And that's going to keep everything on the downbeats. Listen to that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And now I'm on at the 3rd again. Hey, Doug, good to see you. The Speed Police of iMusicAcademy. And Marla is in the chat, our resident artist. Marla, so good to see you and Doug this morning. Everybody say hello to them, which I know you will anyway. But I want you guys to understand something important that's happening. Watch when I go up the C bebop scale and I start on C. There's that half step on the and, right? That B is always going to be on the and because it's not going to be on the downbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But since I'm on C7, I can start on the 3rd if I want to, and I go 1 and 2 and 3, and I'm still going to put the half step from the C scale. And it goes up to the 3rd and everything still lines up. I could also start on the 5th. And notice how it all still lines up, all the downbeats, 1 and 2 and, it's not on the downbeat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm on the G on the top. So I'm still, that's right, I'm still on a C chord, right? I'll just do a simple down, home, easy, left hand, root 5th, root 6th, just to give you context. And you're absolutely right, Rick. Here, that's right. And it's the bebop dominant scale. Now watch this. I'll start on the 3rd. Let's do it on G. On it, G. All right, now if you guys are enjoying that, that's really, even that one example should be unlocking a lot of doors. You guys have the key. Oh yeah, bebop dominant scale. That's right. So, in Vance, just to remind you and everybody else, a bebop major scale is putting that sharp 5 or your flat 6. That helps keep things on downbeats as well. If I go, right, we've been talking about that a lot at iMusicAcademy. You go, right? Now watch this. Right, where we did. We have 12 people watching now, and if you're just now watching, I want you to go back and watch the replay, because one of the things, we're still on the first of 5 examples, but this idea of practicing your scales and patterns and ideas up to the 7th, as in 7 notes. You could go through all of your chords of tunes you're working on and go up to the 7th note and back down. It really helps you build some fluidness into your playing. If I was just doing a very simple C blues and I go, and then I go to F. And of course you can do this a lot slower. Okay, now, isn't that fun how we can do that? All right, now let's go on to the second thing. This is called the second example is the 2-note enclosure. This idea of if my note, you know what, a lot of times we do this, right? That's one thing we do at iMusicAcademy, probably, well, for a lot of reasons. One, because if we're playing the blues scale and all we're doing is the blues scale is going to sound great, but it's going to get old after a while. We need that little major third, right? We need that tension release. And a couple of things that we want to make sure we can do is get that major third in. And one of the ways we like to teach that is through the triad. And on any chord, I could go 3, 5, 4, 2, 3, 1. With the same exact pattern. Hey, Hugh, good to see you this morning. Hugh is the bookends of iMusicAcademy, always on at the beginning, always at the end, and always in the middle. And notice that Hugh is now he's triple dipped again. He's a member of the All Access, the Chord Academy, which he doesn't have to be, and then now a member of the YouTube channel. I think we're up to 9. I still think we're going to get to 10 pretty soon, but I love our YouTube channel, not only the public one, but the new membership. So thank you guys for the support there. So watch this. Notice my C triad. I am doing a PDF for this that I will put in the YouTube community, the All Access group, of course. So no worries there. But this idea of the triad, and I go to F, same thing, G. Doesn't matter what key I'm in, but that's right, he's the triple dipper. I love it. Vance always has something good to say. All right, does everybody get the triad idea? Because we're about to talk about this idea of the 2-note enclosure. But isn't that fun, just practicing that? What I love to show you guys is that if you want to get better at music, and there's so much out there, right? Even from iMusicAcademy, there are tons of things out there. I have stacks and stacks of things that I've either taught people or learned from somebody else or whatever. But it boils down to practicing small incremental ideas, like this idea of the triad. I want you guys visualizing this so you can go. So I was just doing that whole thing, really visualizing the triad, and that gives me this one example. Up to the flat 7. See what I'm doing? I was visualizing this triad as one idea. And then you start doing some other things. All right, the 2-note enclosure, because I have another conference thing I'm doing tonight, but we're going to stay to 35 minutes today. So 8:35 we'll be done. So this is very important. Lock in, everyone. If you're doing your C7, and you can actually go up to, if this is my enclosure, instead of this, which is important, that's a little bonus there, I can go up to a chord tone ahead of my target note. That's F right here. So we go ba-da-da-bum, okay? And then when I go up to here to A, notice that my next chord tone is G from this triad. Now watch this. So now I go again. Okay, let me do this again, because this is kind of going to be new. We know this. Everybody's been working on that. Ba-da-da-bo, and I could go da-da-da or da-da-da-bo or right? That's getting to that 2-note enclosure. But watch what happens when I go up to the 5th is my next note in the chord tone, and I go a scale note above. So our scale is our C7 scale, and I go A, because that's a whole step away, and then a half step approach to the next chord tone. Let me do it again on C. Da-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Now watch, the next scale tone or next chord tone would be the B flat, so I go, and then the next one would be the C, which up above a scale note above the C is D. All right, let me do that again slowly. I'll start on the C. Sorry. Change my fingering. Again. And then and you can go backwards too as well. Isn't that neat? So as you're doing your C7 chord, just think a scale tone above the 3rd, scale tone above the 5th, scale tone above the 7th, and scale tone above the root. Isn't that nice? If you like it, put yes in the chat. And then on the way back down, I can go, technically, if I wanted to do a C9, I could go. That's another thing I like to practice as well. If that's my C7, just go a half step below. And then the same thing on F. All right, let's keep going. Now, this next one is pretty easy, but still really important. This idea of David Baker. It's a generic lick from the jazz language, but so important. And the reason is it uses the bebop scale. Watch this. C, B, B flat, up to the 9th, and then 6, 5. Now, what's really important about this is even though it's a generic pattern, you still hear it all the time, and people kind of use it and make it their own. But it's teaching you the idea of that half step, 1 and being on the B. And you can go back and forth between that. B flat. Now that time I'm not finishing the lick. But the next thing I wanted to show you guys is, in order to learn any particular lick in all keys, is that you have to know different fingerings, right? This idea of, if I go up to D flat, if I try that fingering, that's going to be really difficult. 4, 3, 2, 5, 2, 1. So I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, 5, and I like 3, 2. Let me go back to C. What about B? I can do 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. When I get to F sharp, watch this. 3, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1. When I get to C sharp, again. So 2 of the fingerings for the keys have different fingerings. And what do I say all the time at iMusicAcademy? You're always, many times, you're just two fingerings away from playing something in all keys. Now, maybe you're on the beginning side of things. Just use this one idea, 4, 3, 2, 1 on C, and then maybe jump up to F, because once you learn the muscle memory, it doesn't matter what note you're on. I'm not thinking about anything but this muscle memory when I do this, and I go, it's just muscle memory, all from learning this one idea. And if you understand that, put God in the chat. Okay, let me check the chat, and just to make sure we're good. And if you're enjoying this, make sure you like this video. I'm showing that we have 2 likes, which is kind of sad right now. Hey, that's right. And most people in our groups are on the beginning and to intermediate players, and that's what I love. That's my favorite thing, because we're going to continue to build foundations. So as a reminder, so far what we've done today, we still have 10 minutes on this lesson. The very first one is the bebop dominant scale, and I know Doug likes that. And just practice that going down. You can practice that same thing, same muscle memory on the key of F, which is the 4 chord in the C blues, and the 5 chord. Okay? Now, you could take that to the next level, Doug, and do this, the bebop dominant scale, and then finish it off with an enclosure. I'm sorry, with the David Baker lick. Now, even though that might be a generic kind of lick, when I say generic, I don't mean bad. I mean, a lot of times people say, oh, well, if that's a generic lick. I love generic licks because it not only teaches you the language, it gives you ideas of how you might want to do it a little bit different. And also, it gets the reason it's generic is because at one point it was really good and lots of people copied it, and then people use it all the time. There's so many generic licks that I absolutely love because, like I said, you make it your own. If you just take this so just going up and down half steps gives it a different sound. I could and even play half of it. So then we say, all right, well, let's learn the bebop dominant scale, which is really important. And that helps you keep those chord tones on downbeats. But also, I could go from the scale to the David Baker lick. That's a great exercise. Then I go to F. Same thing on G. All right, let's keep going down the list. So far we have 2 more to do. The first one is the thirds. This is an important thing, this idea of all it is thirds, just like you might do on the piano of going, of like in a classical setting where they do major scales. And all this is remember, when you go up to the third, the interval of a third, C up to E, and you go D to F, remember that you have to have a B flat in there because of the flat 7, right? So we have boo da 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 da, and on the way back down, kind of a neat little sound. Don't worry, not only will I make a PDF of these, I'll also do fingerings for you guys, so have no fear there. Then you want to practice the same thing. If F mixolydian is my other scale, I would do the same thing. It's muscle memory again. Gotta have that E flat. And for G, it's all white notes. And you could get that into your playing just by going. Now, most likely we'll be more of in a jazzy kind of way when we're doing some of this stuff, but I still think it's important to know these simple blues ideas that can really translate to blues or jazz. We're kind of doing it this way with a simple solo blues piano thing, because that's kind of what we've been doing lately is working on our solo blues. Now we also have the trio style. So if you do a C9 to a F13 and G13, you have this idea of this. We're not landing in the key on this one. Are you talking about for the thirds? Yeah. What you're saying is we're not necessarily going to be on chord tones this way. If you're going, so if I go 1 and 2 and 3 and yeah, the downbeats. It's actually a mixture of both, Vance. So you have downbeat and 2. That's the 9th technically. 3rd downbeat, 5th. Flat 7, so it does happen. Then you do. And a lot of you see it. And also you'll start to hear it, right? So that sometimes you may be on somewhere you're not necessarily on the downbeats, but then you have target ideas. I could go. Yeah, very cool. All right, now the next one is my favorite, and that is the last one of these 5 examples, is this idea of a pivot. What in the world is a pivot? If I'm on the 3rd, and I love this pivot right here, the 3rd note down to the 5th of C. Watch this. Right, there's my C7 chord, and I've even put the 9th in there. But I love the sound of going down. Instead of this, instead of going 3 up to the G, I'm going to go down to the 3rd note. right, now let's do it slow motion. Isn't that a fun thing to do there? You have the third, down to the fifth, the flat, up to the flat 7, and up to the ninth. So it's like a C9 chord, and then I end on the root there. And then I could go, Vance, I could go, because of that half step, listen to that. And 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So, again. Couple things. When I first started playing saxophone, I may have shared this story, but I was playing the saxophone, and I was learning a lot on the piano, but then I somehow figured out, I don't know, I think it might have been by listening to like Sonny Stitt or somebody, and I heard this, maybe it was Sonny Stitt. I heard this, and I played it on the saxophone, and I had not played that kind of thing on piano, and I was like, this is the sound I was looking for. And that's why I think that's why I love to play horns and trumpets and all kinds of other instruments like that, because to me, that's where the language is of this idea. And that's the first time that I really felt like, oh, that's a line that sounds good. And I was on saxophone. That's probably why I had that love for that. Okay, now we're going to wrap this up, but I want you guys to know, you go chromatically down to the fifth. That's a great exercise. Okay, keep going down. I think that particular thing that I heard from Sonny Stitt years ago was something like that. It was on a blues, and I think he did that. I think it might have been in, I'm trying to think if it was, well, it doesn't matter what key it was in, but this idea of, if it was a simple blues, and I go the one chord, this is kind of the end of a jazz blues, and it goes, and then it went to the sixth chord, A7 for us, which is our diminished, right? And then it's something like this. Let me see if I can get there again. All right, very cool. Yeah, so there's your idea. All right, let's do a quick review over everything. The first one is your C bebop. I want everybody to practice that. The great thing about it is it doesn't matter which chord tone you start on. If I go E, I'm still going to put that half step on B, because that is the half step in the bebop dominant scale, is that B. And as I'm outlining the C chord, I'm going to use that B there as that my half step. When I start on E, same thing. And I can go all the way up to the third, and it's going to sound great no matter what I solo on. And then I go G. Right? I'm going to use the finger, maybe 2, 1. Actually, you could use 3, 1, 2, 3 all the way through it. Okay, very good. The next thing we're going to do is, we said the 2-note enclosure, and I love, love, love this one right here. If E is my target note, I'll start on a chord tone above, which is F. So I start on C. And then if I'm going to go to G, a chord tone above that is A. And then there's B flat, a chord tone above that is C. And then the last one would be a chord tone above C, and it starts over. And the next one, the thirds, we just did. And then the fourth thing we did is the David Baker. I don't even know why I did that, but I like it. 4, 3, 2, 5, 2, 1, and go to F. B flat. And remember on that one, guys, there's always usually 2 ways to play the fingerings to play in all keys. And on that one, you have 4, 3, 2, 1. On C sharp and F sharp, the fingering I like to use is 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2. 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2. So watch this. 3, 2, 1. Sorry. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Starts over. So all keys just then. Okay, then last one is the pivot, the third. You're going to go third note of the chord, down to the fifth, up to the flat 7 and 9. And end on the root. And you can come down. Same thing, any key. And if you're more on the beginner side, just do C. And even that. Awesome. And the last tip, very quickly, is, oh gosh, I gotta go. Hey guys, have a good one. You have 30 seconds to say goodbye to each other, and I will see you all in the next video. I'll let you know when we get to 10 subscribers on the YouTube channel. I'm excited. We're up to 9. I will put this PDF. I'm going to finish the PDF. I've got these Jazz F Blues Toolbox PDFs I've been working on, and I'll be uploading those as well. I've done a ton of those. So F Blues is sort of our theme this week on Thursday. All right, guys. Good job, everyone. Awesome. Good to see you, Rick. Good to see you, Hugh, Vance, Doug, Vicky, Marla.